I review today in my next video. My next video, I'm gonna do a review that I have done, and I have just finished reading. One of the things I don't like about comic books is the whole bringing back of once people die and then they brought back to life. Jason Todd is an example of that. I just don't like that, because it should be once they stay dead, they stay dead. No coming back to life. The only people I cannot see that would not come is Bruce Wayne's parents. And, and Uncle Ben from Spider-Man. But Ra's al Ghul is that only exception because he has this thing called the Lazarus to bring him back. In Tales of the Demon, you get three stories, and one of the story about Ra's al Ghul, one of the stories is definitely explains how Damien came in play. A lot of reviewers might say it has a legitimate child, but it came from this book, and explains why. So it wasn't like all of a sudden a legitimate child. He had it in this. Alright, Tales of the Demon. It's 3 stories. One of them how Damien was born. Alright. On to the first story. The first story is basically Batman saves these hostages from these henchmen, the terrorist known as Quentin. He's injured and brought back to the Batcave by Talia, and then he is informed by the Commissioner Gordon, and Talia is there with him about the terrorist known Quentin, and then Dr. Bland is dead, and he knows that Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, however you pronounce it, I call it Ra's al Ghul. He goes to Ra's al Ghul, even though they've known in the past there have been conflicts before. But they agree to work on together to fight Quentin. Then Talia and Batman, or Bruce, have sex in this chamber that Talia saved for them. Then they go stop this rocket to launch and this missile, the satellite from launching, but it's an epic fail. Then Talia tells Els that Bruce is that she's with child. And result of this, Batman comes happy. He's gets less grim, and he gets more protective of Talia. And one of the things that happens is, well, he is starts to be caring and that sort of thing, and he gets more protective. Because of this, Talia says that she has child, but Batman is not food whatsoever, because he knows that she's still carrying the baby. Then, in the final battle between Quentin and Ra's al Ghul, Quentin is dead, and he feels sorry to Talia that she lost the baby. And then 9 months later, the baby is born. And it's obvious Talia, and he's given off to the child, and it's Bruce Wayne and Talia's child. And then that happens. The second story is, well, these planes called Bride of the Demon. And the Bride of the Demon is these planes going down because of this ozone layer. And it's caused by Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul asks for the assistance of Dr. Carmel. While he gives Dr. Carmel, he gives a lecture on global warming, and Bruce and Tim are there, and then the call, and he meets Carmel, and Tim meets Carmel and his son Brian Jr. And then Commissioner informs Batman that there is there's a murderer, and he goes after a murderer, and he's working for Ra's al Ghul, and murderer dies, so he takes his place. And then this actress called Evelyn she's old, she's retired. She comes out of retirement to one more film, and then she is kind of saddened because she's getting old. So Ra's al Ghul offers her to bring restore her youth back. And he does. And then he has to marry her. And then Batman goes around. He is disguised, and then he reveals himself, and then there's this big fight, and then what happens is he takes Talia and Carmel and his son. His son is injured. Back to the Batcave, but it's not for long, because Ra's al Ghul brings his men and attacks the Batcave, and then Batman's captured, and Ra's al Ghul tells his plan about ozone, and that's Dr. Cal Mooney was an expert on that. And then he wants him to join, but Batman refuses. And then Ra's al Ghul Ra's al Ghul saves his son, Dr. Carmine's son in the Lazarus Pit, and then Batman escapes, tried to kill by ozone, and he escapes, and then there's a big fight, and Dr. Carmine asks his son to get out of the Lazarus Pit, and then he's pulled in by his son. Batman escapes, and they get out of there, the place explodes with the wife of Ra's al Ghul and Talia all on board on the plane, and Batman and Ra's al Ghul stays back, and then then Batman returns to the Batcave and it ends there. Then the third story is basically telling about how called the birth of the demon and telling the story of his father and how he began and became Ra's al Ghul. And then in the end, Batman and Ra's al Ghul have this fight. With that being said, I'm going to make a review here. This is Gareth. Peace out for now.